Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving my views, thoughts, and opinions. Looking at the Draft Network today because they got the prettiest jersey swaps. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Also, quick shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Thank you for sponsoring the video. If you want to sign up at Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Broshmo and they'll hook you up to start your betting journey. Remember, my friends, bet responsibly. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is current draft order. So, Houston Texans still number one. They're going CJ Stroud. And listen, quarterback is absolutely the pick here. I think I should hold up. Move this up a little bit. There we go. Quarterback's certainly the pick here. It really is. You're picking number one. Go ahead and take your shot. There's going to be people that say, hey, no, they should just take one of these really good defensive players and look for a quarterback. I don't know, maybe like later on in the draft or maybe look into next year's draft. I don't like looking at next year's draft. Too many variables that can very easily not play into your favor. You know, you've already studied this draft. Go ahead and execute whatever game plan you want. Usually that pertains to, oh, we don't have a quarterback currently. We don't have a guy we want to move forward. Let's go ahead. Let's get that guy. The debate here, I guess, if you listen, there is going to be a sect of people who really don't like Bryce Young because of the size. I hear that. I feel that. I understand that. While I might not agree with that, I understand. I understand that that's going to be a thing. Not to say I don't necessarily disagree with that. Like, I can acknowledge size isn't great with him. It's just something I think he can overcome. Opposed to, oh, better safe than sorry. I get where you're coming from with that. So CJ Stroud's the next, honestly, CJ Stroud and Will Levis, the next logical step up. Will Levis is a bit more of this dart throw, while CJ Stroud's like, you kind of know what you're getting in this guy that's very good from a clean pocket. I do think he can improvise. It just didn't really work into his favor this year when he's been pressured. But, I mean, this cat's put up really good play. He's got prototypical quarterback size. He's got an NFL arm. So I get it if he ends up going ahead of a guy like Bryce Young. Again, Will Levis, the tools are insane. It's just the decision-making is not sane. So, fun fact, I didn't know coming into this, but there's trades in this mock draft. And this is about to get freaking wild. This is going to fall off the rails real quick. So hang with me. We got the Cincinnati Bengals trading up to freaking number 2. And you will not believe what they are giving away. So the Cincinnati Bengals will get the number 2 overall pick. In exchange, T freaking Higgins, a first round pick, a second round pick, and a third round pick from the 2024 draft. First off, this feels like overkill. I'll just say that. T. Higgins, I think, could warrant a first. You might be able to. I would think you could probably hold on to those day 2 picks. I think just throwing T. Well, I mean, you are moving up a lot of spots, but you know you're not moving up for a quarterback. Like, I don't know, T. Higgins, I feel like is like a top 10 receiver in the league, right? Top 10, top 15, gotta be top 10. So it's like that I get you're moving up to 2. Like, you could throw your first in there since it's a later round first, but maybe I think you could probably hold on to the second round pick. Regardless, they move up, they grab freaking Will Anderson to add to that pass rush with Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard. That's kind of wild. That's kind of bonkers, with potentially monstrous new contracts on the horizon, which is fair. They're probably going to have to dish out a lot of money for, well, Burrow, Chase. They ain't paying Jesse Bates, so I don't know about that. But holy moly. Yeah, holy moly's right, but this is a hell of a haul for the Chicago Bears to be able to get T. Higgins in this. That's wild. That's wild. And you still retain a first, let alone, it is a later round first, but you retain a first. That's kind of wild. And you pick up a second. It's kind of nuts. Ultimately, I think there's more to say about the trade than the player taken at this point. But yeah, I don't see this one happening. The Seattle Seahawks via the Denver Broncos will go Bryce Young. And I think that this is definitely a thought. Listen, Geno, great story, but now that offense the past few weeks has looked a bit more like what everyone anticipated the offense to look like. The glass slipper is off. Geno Smith might be a guy you want moving forward, but he's not the future. He's maybe a guy you want there for maybe another year until you find the guy. So Seattle's definitely still in play for a quarterback. It was good to see them go back to the run. They got real pass heavy. They've had real pass heavy scripts early in games, but it was nice to see them go back to the run in the second half against the Chiefs, but it was just like too little too late. You got Bryce. Oh man, it'd be so hard to pass on Bryce Young. It would. I know you got Jalen Carter here, but it'd be so difficult to pass on Bryce Young if you're the Seattle Seahawks. And I definitely think there's a good argument to be made for either prospect. All right. We got the Carolina Panthers. This is, via trade. Well, they're trading up to get Will Levis, because we know that now the Panthers are going nuts. Okay. So they give up their first and their second round pick and then a fourth round pick in 2020. Oh, and this year. Oh, and a fourth this year. I thought it was going to be a fourth in the 2024. So they essentially will only have is it only one third rounder? Maybe they have two. I don't remember specifically how many picks the Panthers do have, but they move up to get a quarterback with quarterbacks kind of flying off the board. I kind of don't blame them. With the Colts being the next pick, you kind of got to move ahead. It's kind of the sweet spot right now to get ahead and try to make a play on a quarterback. And they go ahead, they get Will Levis. There's rumors Tepper actually it says it right here. David Tepper fancies Will Levis. Listen, I get it. With Will Levis, you kind of wonder between the ears, but is he gonna become a better decision maker? But you look at all the tools and you're like, yeah, this guy, he has what it takes to be a special passer in the NFL. The question is, will he be? That's why, you're gonna see some people have him outside the top 20. I think I have him right around 20 on my big board, and because very well he could prove a lot of people wrong and be like, oh yeah, he should have been a top 5 pick easy. At the same time, it could be like Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones. It's like, okay, yeah, these guys probably shouldn't have gone as early as they did. So Will Levis going right here to the Carolina Panthers. Get the Indianapolis Colts next on the clock, and they go Christian Gonzalez. Kind of a tough spot with no quarterback now available for him. You can make an argument for tackle. They will have Stephen Gilmore he can start on. Okay, Stephen Gilmore does have one more year on his deal. Try to think who's playing next to him, because they haven't really played a lot of Isaiah Rodgers at the 2 spot. Who's playing the 2 spot right now for the Cardinals? Because they got Kenny Moore in the slot. I can't recall off the top of my head who's been mainly playing number 2 for the Colts. I bet you the minute I see this, I'm gonna just be like, slap my head. Just gonna be like, oh, duh. Okay, so it's kind of been this rotation of, oh, that's right, Brandon Faison. So it's been a mixture of him and Isaiah Rodgers. Okay, that's fair. All right, so yeah, you kind of want to look for that next corner. Don't necessarily think. I don't think Gus Bradley's even back with this squad, so I don't think it's even important to talk about scheme fit. Christian Gonzalez is going to blow up the combine. He was on Bruce Feldman's freaks list. If you feel like he's the best corner, then yeah, go ahead, go for it. You can make the case for Jalen Carter, make it Jalen Carter and Forrest Buckner on the same interior, but they're very happy with Grover Stewart, one of the more underrated players in the NFL, but I don't think that stops you from going Jalen Carter. But yeah, they go Christian Gonzalez here. I got really no qualms about it. The Atlanta Falcons next on the clock. They're going Jalen Carter. This is kind of a no-brainer pick. Not much to talk about. He's available. He's a top 3 prospect in this class. He's up there with Will Anderson in terms of who's the top non-quarterback prospect in this class. The Detroit Lions, here at 7 now, they go Tyree Wilson. They're going to pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson. Solid pick. Like it. I kind of prefer Myles Murphy. You could also make the case for Jared Verse maybe being a better fit, but Myles Murphy would be pretty sick to pair up with Aiden Hutchinson. Tyree Wilson, though, elite run defender at the very least. So that would be a good pairing for Detroit Lions moving forward. We saw how good they were at stopping the run, or how good they weren't. And then the Arizona Cardinals, this is where they traded down with the Carolina Panthers. Maybe I'll do a trade mock draft this week. This has my juices flowing right now. All right, so the Arizona Cardinals are taking Joey Porter. We know that their cornerback position is dog water. We know they could use more pass rush. We know they could use some more horses on the offensive line, as they're going to have an exodus of free agents this season. But they go with Joey Porter. I think it is a good fit, especially if they retain the coaching staff. Pretty good guy here for Vance Joseph. So they go Joey Porter. I like it. The Las Vegas Raiders are taking Bijan Robinson. And listen, I understand that, oh man, I don't think it's likely Josh Jacobs is back with the Raiders. That's a lot you're going to have to pay a running back, especially Josh Jacobs, who just had this monster year. Like, he's going to get paid. And what do we say? You don't want to pay running back, especially on that second contract. This kind of alleviates that. You're getting another monster here in Bijan. And while it might not be a high positional value, I understand the logic behind this pick. So I think the Raiders could probably go elsewhere. I think likely you want to go elsewhere, but you sit here and maybe literally any offensive lineman you want is on the board. You can make a shot. You could take a shot there. You could do that. You could attack the interior. You could attack pass rush. You could attack one of the corners in this class. There's a lot of different avenues. I understand that Bijan Robinson's not the most sexy pick, being a running back inside the top 10, but I get the logic. The Philadelphia Eagles are going, this is via the New Orleans Saints, Myles Murphy. So they grab another pass rusher on the outside there. I'm cool with that. I like it. Brian Brazee is kind of like one of my favorite picks at this juncture, simply because I think they need more interior help than they actually need at the edge position. Though, really, we could be talking about the trenches. We could also talk about the cornerback positions. They'll have James Bradbury as a free agent. Myles Murphy, though, would be the top guy off the board, so I'm not too hurt about it. The Houston Texans will be going Quentin Johnston. Nice receiver to pair up with their new franchise quarterback in CJ Stroud. Big fan of Quentin Johnston. They'll pair him up with Nico Collins. It's very likely that Brandon Cooks will be heading somewhere else this offseason. And or maybe he stays and you just get a very sick receiving core. So I don't mind that. I like that. And then the Seattle Seahawks go with Isaiah Foskey after grabbing Bryce Young. So, like this one as well. Really do. I mean, you get a good run defender in Foskey. They don't really have that at the edge position right now. Of course, I think they would love to go interior here, but maybe you're looking for a guy that can maybe fill up that zero tech spot for the Seattle Seahawks. That's kind of the area they're squishy, closer to the A gap rather than this maybe like a B gap or 3 tech position, which Brian Brzee would be like kind of the next guy off the board. Foskey, I think this is Foskey feels like more of a later round guy, like later first round guy. Definitely top 50 though, I think for me, but he's picked here. Here he is. Tennessee tight ends, they're moving on up. Bet you they don't love that. They're going Peter Skoronski. Listen, I get it, man. Derrick Henry's the engine of the offense, but I think the wheels on this offense are falling off. They really are. Get Todd down and out of there. Peter Skoronski, don't know if he ends up playing left tackle, which ideally that's kind of what you want to get here at this pick. Maybe Paris Johnson would be a bit safer of a decision here. But Skoronski could legit, I think he can make it in the NFL at the tackle spot. And even if he doesn't, he can play guard, he can play center, he can do a variety of different things for you. The New England Patriots next on the clock going Trenton Simpson. I think you've probably heard this pick floated around a ton, that it's just a fun pick. That I think Bill Belichick would love a guy with the versatility of Trenton Simpson on his defense. So they go with that there. The New York Jets next on the clock go DeJuan Jones. Get that tackle of the future. I think at this point he's playing right tackle. And then what are you exactly doing with Elijah Vera Tucker? Is he going to be playing guard? Is he going to be playing tackle? Who's you going to try to roll with Mekhi Becton again at year 2 at tackle? I really don't think you do. I think you have Elijah Vera Tucker contend for the left tackle spot because Nate Herbig's played good football. Bring back Connor McGovern. I think he's very underrated. And then on top of that, you just, with how much money you paid Lincoln Tomlinson, you just got to hope that his play gets better. Pittsburgh Steelers next on the clock. Broderick Jones, they get a good run blocking tackle who has the upside to be a very good pass protector as well. He's got the strength, got the length, got the wide base, got the athleticism. You just kind of hope he works out. Next, Paris Johnson actually probably be the guy I go here as maybe. Yeah, no, I'd go Paris Johnson over Jones. But Paris Johnson goes with this next pick to the Green Bay Packers. Packers, they could do a lot of different things with this pick. They really can, but I think offensive line kind of feels like the safe spot. It really does. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they go with like a Brian Branch. I think he'd be a really good fit for the defense. Someone I want to talk about with Green Bay now getting closer to potentially making the playoffs, but they're now going to be more in this mid to later first round, get around to that pick 20, later first round. I think Brian Branch is definitely on the table. All right, the Detroit Lions are going with Cam Smith. The Detroit Lions, who were their first pick? I think it was Tyree Wilson. So now they're going with Cam Smith to pair up with Jeff Okuda. They're on the outside. Cam Smith kind of gets lost in the shuffle of who's the top corner. We always talk about guys like Keely Ringo, Joey Porter, Christian Gonzalez, and we kind of forget about Cam Smith. But Cam Smith had a really good season. Teams were opted not to throw his way for much of it. So you get Cam Smith. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going Keely Ringo here. If you didn't know, now you know. They got 2 big free agents in Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jameel Dean. I think there's a good case that they won't be able to sign either of those guys. So you're going to have someone outside of Carlton Davis, and Keely Ringo can be that guy. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars are going Michael Mayer. Yes, I think there is a good chance Evan Ingram is back with this squad next season. He is on a 1-year deal though, so it's very possible that he doesn't re-sign with the squad and he makes money elsewhere. So if that's the case, Michael Mayer would be a great value here. Oh, Gojo, are you having bad dreams? We haven't even gotten to the Chiefs pick, buddy. Ah, you're awake now. Gojo's having nightmares of the Chiefs squandering their draft pick. All right. But if you're a Jaguars fan, be like, no, Evan Ingram's played so good for us, blah, blah, blah. It's like, understand that he might not come back with the squad. Like, this pick is if he's not coming back. Be like, oh, no, he's absolutely coming back. It's like, we don't know that yet. Calm down. Washington Commanders, they're here at 21. They're going Devin Witherspoon, a guy that's building a lot of hype coming into, into this draft circuit where he's going to be in the Senior Bowl. A lot of people really like the physicality he plays with and the length, the size, the movement skills are pretty good too. So he's probably this next tier of corner we want to talk about. And Washington, we know Washington, they could use some more depth and more playmakers at the corner position. Miami Dolphins forfeited their pick, and honestly, after watching them the past 4 games, looks like they're forfeiting the season. New York Giants go Anthony Richardson. This is also a popular pick to the Giants. There's going to be Daniel Jones truthers out there. They're like, Daniel Jones is fine. He's fine. We can move forward with him. He's not great. Like, he's not a quarterback I want with the ball in his hands in a shootout, whatnot. Like, he's had good games this year, don't get me wrong, but like it says here, if New York can re-sign Daniel Jones on a short-term deal, which I think that's the best plausible scenario. You could take a project here. You could take a swing with Anthony Richardson, and hopefully Brian Daboll could develop this guy to be a similar threat to like a Josh Allen in Buffalo. The Los Angeles Chargers get Jordan Addison. Probably my favorite pick for the Chargers. Get that nice vertical threat they've been missing with Guyton out this year. This is a team that's not nearly been as explosive, and when you have a guy with Justin Herbert's arm at quarterback, then you want to have the ability to stretch the field vertically. Jordan Addison will help you immediately with that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Baltimore Ravens. Look at it, Jackson Smith and Njigba. This is actually, I really like this pick for the Baltimore Ravens. You get one of the best run blocking wide receivers. Jackson Smith and Njigba is a guy that creates good separation from the slot. Yes, I'm saying it. Ideally, this is the guy that you're playing in the slot. And there's just not enough. There's not enough proof in what we've seen from Jackson Smith and Njigba to say he can play on the outside consistently. If anything, I think we're looking at a Cooper Kupp type of spread where he's playing outside maybe 30 to 35% of the time. A bulk percent of the time, this is a guy you want out in the slot, and he is capable of making plays after the catch. I think he's a smooth athlete. He's just not going to be a high-end athlete, but he goes here. I think this is another popular pick for the Baltimore Ravens. The Denver Broncos next on the clock go Jared Verse. Broncos are in all kinds of trouble. I'm trying to think who is left up here. I think Brian Branch would be interesting. I think he would be a good pick here as well, but grab more pass rush. Randy Gregory, I think, just got suspended. Also, RIP Nathaniel Hackett. No, they just fired their coach. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Like, Russell Wilson was going to stay regardless. Like, the contract you gave him, there was nothing else that could happen here outside of firing your head coach. Something has to change, and it would have been at the coaching position. But they grabbed Jared Verse, who I think could be a top 15 player in this class. So I don't mind that. You're grabbing a good player and great value. Dallas Cowboys, oh my gosh, forgot Brian Brazee was on the board, and the Cowboys are able to get him. What a phenomenal pick. Great value. Really like that. All right, so this is next pick's the Chicago Bears since they traded down, and they're picking up Nolan Smith. Keep in mind, this is basically they're picking at 28, and they got T. Higgins and Nolan Smith. And we'll find out what happens. Well, I guess we won't find out what happens with the second round pick that they acquired. But yeah, no, Nolan Smith, very not talked about because of the torn pec. I think he should be able to participate in his pro day based on the timeline of the injury. He should be. Could be getting that wrong. What, typically torn pec's about 6 months, right? So I think he should be. I'm pretty sure he should be able to participate if he has a workout in April, in the middle of April. I think that does work out. We're talking what? December, January, February, March. Ugh, it's cutting it close, so maybe not. But undersized, very good run stuffer though. Very good run stuffer for being an undersized edge player. Before the injury, I think he was hovering around 25% win rate as a pass rusher. Just a guy we're not talking about that we really should be talking about. So Eberflus goes ahead and grabs him. And then we're here at pick 29. Kansas City Chiefs. This is for you, Gojo. They get Anton Harrison. And I think Anton Harrison's a very good fit for the Chiefs. The play strength has gotten better. It is still a work in progress, but it is something that he acknowledged. Hey, this is my weakness, and I'm working on getting it better. And we saw improvements this year from that, but it's still not where you want it to be in terms of an NFL starter. But he definitely, as a pass protector, has a lot of high-end potential. Minnesota Vikings. This is another popular pick for the Minnesota Vikings, and Clark Phillips getting some help in the secondary. Clark Phillips is just a really good scheme fit to what the Vikings are running, grabbing someone across from maybe like Patrick Peterson. To be fair, I think he potentially might be a free agent this season. His contract voids after this season, so you might be losing your best corner. You got an okay guy in Cameron Dantzler moving forward, but you need more horses at the cornerback position. The Buffalo Bills are going Rashee Rice. I just don't think Rashee Rice is a first rounder. I don't even have him as a top 50 player. But I mean, he can do a lot of things exceptionally well, but he's not an explosive athlete. And that's kind of where I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of this pick, but like you would think Osiris Torrance, dude, primed for this pick. Where are the Bills having? I would say their most problems is on the offensive line, and you could start with the interior. The interior is could use a little fine tuning. And then we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They're actually traded out because that's what they do, and they're trading out, having the Rams trade forward for Brian Branch. So the Rams trade up. They end up picking in the first round for the first time in forever. And this is what happens. Philly gets a second rounder, being pick 38. They get a fifth and a fourth in the 2024 draft. So I don't know. You tell me what you think of that trade. Who am I to say? But the Rams grabbing Brian Branch. I mean, the Rams, they love their secondary players, and I love Brian Branch. This is great value, but Jalen Ramsey's the guy they like to dip into the slot quite a bit. They already have some solid players there at safety position. If anything, offensive line's kind of the thing for the Rams, so I'm a bit indifferent about it, but I don't know. You let me know in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.